All right, we are in the opening round of the rookie division in the California Ultimate Tournament, and it's at Juniper Point. There we have it. There we have it. I only played one account this week. I was thinking about playing more, and then I thought, why? So I just played one. I'm just playing the one. Here we go. Here we go. And I shot a 16 and a 17. This tournament's going to be absolutely crazy, so I have no idea what the weekend's going to look like, but it's going to be crazy. There are a lot of opportunities to pick up shots out there. There's a couple of shots out there that you can get in trouble on, but most of them we have a serious opportunity. And here we go. Let's go look at hole number one. Hole number one. I'm doing the max overpower hook shot. You can start off right here and just drive it up there, but I mean, come on, how often do we get to play a par 4 where we can take a Marlin and do a max overpower hook shot and get it up? I did this. One of my viewers asked about, like, if you got, how much topspin. I did this the other day with an Extra Mile 7, and I think it only has like 50 topspin from this area. I was 2 rings off of this. So my bullseye was out here, and I was 2 solid rings off from this transitional point at the red line with the Marlin. Max curl, max left-hand side spin, all 50 top spin, and ended up very nicely on the green. So I don't know that you need much more than that. We will see. We're gonna find out the hard way. But we can take a Marlin. They changed the ball stuff. Do. Right club, right stuff. I was doing 10% on the drive as well. I do remember that if you're coming out here with a Marlin ball, and I think if the wind was somewhere between like 3 to 4 miles per hour in rookie, and when you started getting into that 3.5, I would up it to a navigator if you were going up against a headwind, just so that you could get the extra little distance, because the headwind was going to lay you back and it put you short on the other side. But if you play, I think this is in Tour 2. I think that's the only, it's been in Tour 2 forever. It used to be Tour 2 and Tour 7. So I played this course a lot. I kind of liked it when it was back in those days, where anything that was in Tour 2 was in Tour 7, anything that was in Tour 3 was in Tour 8, and it gave you the opportunity. I don't think I need it all. I don't. I'm going to do 1.5. I'm going to try and get a little more run at it. 4.7 divided by 2.1. 2, I'll say 2.5 rings. And I got it all. Let's see if it's in the right. We'll know right here. Yeah, that's going to put me on the sandy side. I get a run towards the cup. Whoa, down, Cat Daddy. Yeah, 5 topspin's probably enough. 50. So if you've got, like a level 6 extra miles at like 45 or something, I remember doing this max overpower hook shot on this hole, even when it was the old configuration, and we've been able to do it forever. The wise thing, you can come out there with a bigger ball and set yourself up in the pocket, so you can really you don't have to use the wind. You can standardize the shot so that the next time if it's headwind, you can work the wind out and you can still do the same deal. But anytime you can come on a hole like this and have the opportunity to get it done with a Marlin, come on. You got it. Risk versus reward. Come on. tell you, it's really touchy to try and get no side spin. Hit it great. In the hole. Woo! Okay, can't get too excited. It's pretty low-hanging fruit. That is the riskier way to play it. Like I said, you can bring out a bigger ball, but if you don't have a really big ball inventory, you know, this is a hole that you could save yourself a bigger ball and still get the same result. And it's not that if you take the shot to the left and you bring out a bigger ball that you're guaranteed anything. You still have to set it up and hit it right. And the first time we have a headwind this week, it would be a good idea to go out there and practice that max overpower hook shot just to see how the headwind affects it. Because if you think about it, when you're doing a max overpower hook shot, you're leaving from here and you're doing this right here. So if the wind was blowing, you know, even like today's wind where we have wind blowing like this, the shot starts off, it's pushing the ball forward. But then when it gets to the edge, it's really pushing the ball forward and changing your trajectory. So as it goes through its flight pattern, this wind is going to affect it more in different ways. And so if we go up against a headwind this week, it would be a good idea to take at least one practice shot just to make sure. Hole number 2. What is hole number 2? It's up. Okay. I tried this the other day and I did the no move shot, so I have no idea where I'm at. But I'm going to try the no move shot again. But this time I over pulled it. And I did it at 1 per ring. I just did a straight up 1 per ring, which would be like mid club, and I over pulled it. So I have no idea where I'm at in my club. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my minimum number, which is 1.3, and set it up the same way and see what the deal is. Hey, I'm just having fun. Come on. I'm going to take I really don't need a quasar. It's got 1 backspin, 1 right hand side spin. I suppose I could use a navigator. And that bag will work. Okay, so I'm going to put on 1 backspin, 1 right hand side spin. 1.3 per ring. So the wind divided by 1.3. This hole has changed so many times. I've had like 50 different ways that I've played this hole. 1. No. No, I liked it better when we had... I don't know if I like that. .7, 2.1 rings. Hitting it perfect. I don't know that I like that. They changed that bar and so they could get to the 10. Close. Still like slight over pull. Slight. I don't know if I like that because like before, you know, we had 5. I like the symmetry of it. You have 5 side spin and you have 5 bars. So if you want to do 1, you do 1. You want to do 2, you do 2. And here we have 10 now, and they only have 5 bars, so that means we have to split anytime we want to do anything between 1 and 2. We've got to now start slicing the... I'm not sure I like that at all. And the deal is that back in the day they had 10, you know, they had more, and they shortened it up. I'm gonna have to go back and watch some video from like back in the day, because I'm pretty sure that they had where you could get 10, there was 10 ticks, and they shortened it up and changed it so that we only had 5. Because before, like, if you had, 2.5 ticks might represent 1 side spin. And they changed it around when they came out with the 5 side spin balls, and they changed the side spin stuff so that there was 5 ticks and we had 5 side spins. So if you wanted to do 3, you just went over 3. If you wanted to do 4, you went over 4. But now having to split the difference, I don't know if I like that as well. Why couldn't they have put 10? I'm pretty sure that way back in the day there was 10, because they shortened it up. Because it changed all of our shots. If you had a shot book and you go to a hole and you go, okay, here on this hole we put on 3.5 side spin. It might be, you might have on your notes, so you were going to put on 2, you might have on your notes that you did, 5 ticks of side spin. And it looks to me like the top spin still has 10 bars, but now the side spin only has 5, but it can go to 10. And don't get confused. For anybody who's new that's out here, do not get confused about this. Look in your inventory right now and see if you have a 4 power ball that has 5 side spin, 4 wind resistance, and 2 precision. I mean, that was the old fashioned, that was what it would have been in the olden days, yesterday. That's what it would have been. So it just gives them the opportunity to cut the difference. Here, it just gives them the opportunity to split now we can have 9, what would have been 4.5 power balls and all that good stuff. How did they do that? I just got on today, so Kingmakers are 666s and 10 power balls. Yeah. It just gives them the opportunity to fill in all those gaps so that they can have more ball inventory. It's still the same stuff. They're not really going to give us anything more than what they gave us before, but now they can give us the 4.5 power and the 3.5 power. Yes, sir. All right, what are we on? I'm going to work that hole out. It would be helpful if I moved it so I found out exactly where I was at in the shot. I might do that on the back. All right, I want to try and get around the bend as far up here as I can possibly get. Ideally, I'd like to do this without doing any overpower. The problem here, here's the deal. If you draw a line from the tee box to the flagpole, and we're getting around this tree, and then you draw your little arc and you want to try and get into this area here where it's crossing. Our apex is right here. I mean, this is the spot that's in the center of our shot, and we're back in this area. So ideally, obviously from this picture, if you want to make this kind of loop, you need to be out here. Well, shit, it's rough out there. So if you line yourself up so that you're going into this area, and then from here, this is your pivot point that you're trying to change your pivot, so you're curling it around to try and do the deal, you take the risk of clipping those trees. You really want to start your shot off either as close as you can be to being level or in front of the tree. So if you bring out a bigger power ball, you can get into that position. But with a 3 power ball, I think even with a bigger club, you're starting off like back in here, and so you want to push yourself as far to the left as you can. I'm using the left-hand side as my reference point for the curl, because I'm trying to give myself as much separation here, because when the shot comes flying in, it's coming in on this trajectory. And if you're setting up right here, now if you try and set up here and you're not putting a lot of curl on it, then you take the risk of getting caught up right here. It's kind of tricky. It can be tricky to get here if you don't want to use a big ball. But this is definitely a hole that's worth, on days where we have a headwind where you do have that issue of bringing out a bigger ball. It sure is. It's sure enough. Kingmaker. Heartbreaker. Okay, hold on. Alright, I'm back. I'm back. Get my calculator going again here. Alright. What were we doing? I got 11. I got a Kingmaker. I got the right bag. Here we go. Alright. I like this hole. I am going to do plus 10 to the cup. And if I'm in the right spot, I should be in my short iron, and I'm using a thorn. I'm writing some numbers here on my notes. You can see what I'm talking about. So you're here, if you try and, when I'm going to put my blue ring off. All the topspin. I think I could have put it on the other day and I didn't. 3.6 times 1.1 divided by 1.2. And I did 10% on the drive as well. 3.3. 3.3. Max curl, no overpower. Perfect. Let's see if we can work our way around the tree. Nice. There is and I must have been right at my red line. So if you had a big headwind day, if we have a headwind day, you could bring out a 4-power ball, or you could do overpower. The overpower is, it's not that you can't do overpower, it's just that it's less consistent. Okay. Now they didn't take I don't think they took the wind out, so the wind's going to push them to the left and kind of separate them just a little. All right, here we go. I'm going to do 10%, so that's 1.1 times the wind wherever I'm at in my club. 3.4 divided by, there's min, there's max. So I'm at mid club. 2.3, 1.62 rings. .62 rings. There's 1.62 exactly. Oh shit. Arrgh. I can tell you right now that shot right there on a perfect is in the hole. This is a great Albie hole. Great Albie hole. In the weekend round, this would definitely be worth bringing out a precision ball. AKA my opponent bringing out the, that's not the special ball that's for sale right now. That's got Precision 64 on it. Man, that is a big, what the, dude, that was like 5 rings. If they hit this perfect and it doesn't end up to the right, I'm going to be pissed. Like, you overpulled that by a mile. And it shouldn't even be that close. Like, that club is at, they had to be kind of where I was at, like mid club. They were a little bit closer, so they were probably even in between mid and minimum. And what's the? I think the way that if they used the book and they didn't eyeball it, that would be like 1.5 per ring, somewhere in that neighborhood. I think is what Golf Clash Notebook has, maybe 1.6 on like a 2.7 wind. So at the most it'd be 2 rings, and they just pulled it like 4 or 5 rings. I should have been way off. Way off. I think they put it so close for him just because they brought out a special ball. So they said, well, you're not going to make it, but we'll make it look like you were close to making it. That was way off. Hole number 4. Hole number 4. All right, this is not my favorite par 3 in the game, but I am going to hit off of the island, which I don't normally like to do because it's on a slant. And depending on which way the wind's blowing, the sand can get into your shot. Now, I played it the other day with a Marlin, and I had to, in order to get lined up to the cup, I had to get what I would consider dangerously close down here. I mean, I always like to be at least 2 rings off of any transitional surface, and I had to start off there. So I'm going to bring a Quasar. I started it off with a Katana, and my red line was like right there. So like any kind of forward moving wind, I would have struggled. So I just dropped down to a Marlin and it pushed my red line back to here. But I'm going to bring out a Quasar to try and cut the difference and still give me a little bit of room on tailwind days and a little bit more access to side spin so that I can set up more like towards the center of the island. So if I do have a day where there's wind coming from the sand, it gives me a little bit more separation to pull out the wind. That is the plan. That's my plan. At least I have a plan. Your plans never survive contact with the course, but we will try it. I'm going to do 10%. I'm going to do a 10% adjustment on this as well. I'm going to use a 10% variable times the wind, and I think I'm at minimum club, which is 1.2 per ring. Let me think. It was like 3.5 backspin, somewhere in that neighborhood. All right, we'll try it. But I'm going to change my start spot, so my backspin's going to change because I have more side spin with this ball. So I'm hoping that I can push it forward a little more on the island. Do spinning. Let's see if I go first. Let's see. Of course I go first. No, and that's the same shit. I was hoping. Yeah, I got a little bit of room there. It's 3.5 backspin. Going towards the cup. 3.1 minimum club divided by 1.2. 2.84 rings. There's 2.84. Hitting it perfect. Just a bit outside. Just a bit. I'm going to change my 10 to a 15. And it was a 1 left side spin, and I used a Marlin. A Margolin. And I'm not so sure that I'm getting enough spin to get me, like when it comes out, you know, here's the cup. It looked like it was going towards the cup, but I'm not so sure that it's not just, you know, breaking off to the right of the cup because I don't have enough spin. Maybe. I'm going to keep playing it with a Marlin though. Yeah, and there is a rough bump. I don't like that rough bump. I don't like that rough bump for several reasons. First of all, I'm not a huge fan, although there are a couple holes that I do those eye rough bumps. I'm not a huge fan of the eye rough bumps. I like to try and, if you're going to do those where you've got a peninsula like this and you got sand right here and you got fairway around, you know, and you're doing the rough bump on this area, I like to do it up here so that depending on which way the wind's blowing, I can escape. It gives me more options. So if the wind was blowing, you know, like this, I could try and get over into this corner and try and work it out so that I can do the deal. But not only that, in this area where you're having to more do it on the eye, but that area is really hilly, and so you're hitting, not only are you hitting on the eye, but the eye's not flat, and so it can go haywire real quick. This isn't one of my favorite par threes. I've made a few shots on it, but it's just, you know, it's not one of those ones that get y'all excited. All right. Now what I'd like is to get all the way over to here. Because if you can get all the way over to here, you have some options. And I'm going to bounce over from here. This is a great opportunity if you've got a big topper. So if your extra mile or your APOC are going to be, your red line's probably going to be out here in the rough, so you're going to have to pull back from the red line in order to get into the pocket. And if you have to pull back in order to get into the pocket, now you're getting into the range where your big topper comes into effect, and your big topper will have more topspin for most people, unless you had an APOC 8, right? But even then, you have to pull back a little bit. If you've got a maxed out big topper, it could, you know, you could still get into this pocket. You do not want to overshoot this. It's super easy to overshoot. So I like to give myself lots of room down in this pocket. I don't want to get right up against it. Once again, the 2 ring of separation here, I'm going to do a couple rings, and I'm going to do a 20% adjustment. I really do not want to get caught up down in that. The funny thing about this hole is that on this side right here, it's hard to see them in this photo. You can kind of see them where there's little pockets out here, and this isn't just like some flat surface. There's some hills, and there's some dips, and there's moguls, and there's some stuff out here. And if you can hit in the right spot out here, where you can hit on the downward side of one of those moguls, it'll pick up the slide and you will fly across this. But if you hit on the uphill, or if you hit on the few flat areas that are out there, it'll just bounce normal, and you'll end up like in this area and still you'll be in wood. Whereas if you can get the slide, you can get up here and you can get into short or into long iron. The difficult thing here is when you're trying to go for the cup. I went back and watched my shot that I took the other day, and I had set it up. I had broken several of my own rules going at it, where my first bounce was here and my second bounce was like literally right on the other side of that rough. So if I'd have hit a grate to the right, I would have clipped the rough, or I would have got caught up in the sand. Anything to the left would have been fine. And what I really want to do is start the shot off over here and then bring it around so that this peninsula is not in play. There is also a rough bump that you can do here with your second shot, but you really want to know what the wind adjustment is. And I think I have wrote down on my notes here, I think I did a 10 and I was slightly off, so I'm going to up it to a 15. We will see. Which way's the wind blowing? Which way's the wind blowing? That way works fine. And I think I'm going to take this bag right here. If I have to bring out that Cataclysm, shit went seriously. Well, no, I might have to bring out the Cataclysm if I don't get the slide out there. Is there a problem with that? Maybe. I really would like to bring my big top out. Let's think. It versus my sniper. Other than a little bit more accurate, there's not much to choose from there. I do get a little bit more distance. I'm going to bring out, I really want to get into the grizzly range, so I'm going to bring it, and I'm going to get into my grizzly range. That's it. That's the deal. Let's quit talking about it and go do it. 1.2 times whatever the wind is. And my big Tapa hits 1.8 per ring. 1.2 times the wind divided by 1.8. I go first. I go first. Okay. I'm 2 rings off at the red line. 3.4 is 2.26 rings, so 2 1/4 rings. 2 1/4. Let's hit it perfect. Hitting it perfect. I did not get the slide. I was trying to stay a little bit more to the left on my tail, where I end up right here. I was trying to be more to the left on this side of the course so that it would open up and get me a little bit away from that peninsula, instead of trying to get out. If I just hit it straight out there, being more on the right, then I have to address it more. So your angle would be like this coming out if you were on the right hand side, where here I have a little bit. I might be able to do what I was talking about, where I set up to the left and then I bring the ball back around to the right to the cup. 1.15 times whatever the wind is. I have no idea what club, where I'm going to be at my club. I'd like to be in Grizzly, but I'm not sure. I have Grizzly and Cataclysm numbers here, so I'm ready to roll no matter what. Do 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 do. You have a good easy shot from over there. I don't like the fact that on that shot it tails off right at the very end. I am in Grizzly. There's Max. There's Min. There's Mid. Mid Grizzly. 3.7. It's 4 1/4 rings. There's 4 1/4. Oh! Damn it. Damn it. Arrgh. The 2 par 5s. No perfects. And they were both right there. I would have loved to have seen that, just so that I upped it from +10 to +15, and I really would have liked to have seen where that ended up. So see how the tail at the very end, because they're going up, there's a hill right here, and they're going up that hill, and as they're going up the hill, it's pushing the ball off to the left, and so everything looks really good, and then at the very end it starts to tail off. It's not that you can't make it from that side, it's just I think you have a better look going straight forward. And one-on-one I always play it from the other side. That's how I know what that shot looks like, because unless the wind is blowing really due tailwind and it's big enough to push me over, I always hit over to that island. Because why would I bring out a big ball in one-on-one? I will say I was playing some Tour 7, and you know, it used to be that the holes, as you went up the tours, you know, learning different skills, they didn't really force you to have to bring out bigger stuff until you started breaching Tour 7. But shit, there's a couple holes in Tour 7 that, even with big stuff, you got to work to get into the spot where you can make it. And with lower power stuff, there's one of the holes that was on there that's definitely a hit it to a spot, give yourself, and then hit it to another spot, and then the third shot you're on the green. They really want you to bring out the big stuff. The big stuff. All right. Hole number 6. What is? I don't remember these holes. My notes say Sniper Marlin. Ah, I do remember this hole now that I looked at my notes. All right, is that right? No, that's not right. Big Topper, Kingmaker. Maybe. APOC, Kingmaker. When is this picture? This picture does not look right. This looks like the old... Man, this picture does not look right. This is like the old green. This is like an original picture of this hole. These trees are super tight, but the green was massive, and there is a massive hill right here, and if you ended up just bleeding onto the green, you couldn't get up the hill. You had to chip it off and then chip it up to the cup. I think the new green is just a really small green, and then these sand traps are moved around. This definitely is an old picture. Old! Tommy showing his age. All right, what are we going to bring here? I could bring that. I could bring that. Let's try it with the Big Topper. Why not? Let's see if I can... Now I have the benefit that I have a level 8 Big Topper, and so it's got its distance. It's got all of its distance, but that 10 yards, that 10 extra yards, this is another one of those things where we're hitting, when we look at the hole, our red line's back in here. So if you're trying to do curl to try and bring it to the cup, well, in order to get that all to be hunky-dory from the tee box, drawing a line straight to the cup, wanting to go this direction, you know, your midway point out here where your red line's at puts you out into the rough. So you're going to have to start here. So if you put that same curl on it, you're going to end up in the trees. And you want to clear that sand trap. You can bring a big ball and try and get up in here and do some overpower and do all kinds of shit to try and get up on the green. You can. But I'm not going to. I'm not. I'm doing a 10% variable on the drive at Max Club, which is 1.2 per ring. Now you can try and hit through the trees. You can. You see their tail coming out the other end of that tree? I didn't see their tail coming out the end of that tree. I would not recommend it, but you can. What's the bitch is your bounce coming through here. It's these low-hanging branches right here. Now, I just can't believe that some golfers haven't gone out there in the middle of the night and accidentally pruned some of those lower branches on that tree. I'm not saying anybody should go do it, but I got the clippers out in the truck. I think that is going to clip. They went into the tree and out. Excellent. Hey, they made it out, so excellent. They got a seriously good shot from there. Seriously good. Be 1.74 rings. There's 1.75 exactly. And I'm going to have to lean just a little. Hitting it perfect. It's all about whether you can get past the tree and not clip the lower branches in the tree, just like I clipped the lower branch in the tree. Arr. I was trying to get greedy right there. You could pull back a little bit so your bounce wasn't so much in it, and you could try and run it forward. That's why I was thinking the big topper might be good, because you could pull it back even though it doesn't hit as far. So by the time it gets to the tree, it's in some of its lower bounces. Now, the Thorn is not a one-trick pony. And this is an excellent shot to just hit straight to the cup. Yeah, you gonna adjust for the wind? No? No? Maybe? Maybe? Yeah. Let's see how many rings they do it. They did one and it's 3.5 at minimum club. That might be in. That might be close. Close. In that particular shot right there, I would have just tried to run it up there with my Thorn. Number one, you could get a little bit closer to where you're at, so it's a little bit more accurate. And number two, got great ball guide. Hey, come on. I can't see the fucking hole because you guys got the thing on there. I don't need to know where my opponent is at. Jeez. 2-6. I'm gonna do one ring. Now I'm gonna do half a ring. 3/4. Hitting it perfect. Ooh. I forgot to check where I was at in my club. I was talking about why the Thorn is not a one-trick pony. The mass majority of people that I see play a Thorn just like that. Every time they get into the Thorn range, the only shot that they think of is the max backspin. And not thinking, hey, it's got like 4 or 5 ball guide and we can run it up there. It's a, you know, we could run it up. When you do those backspin shots, if you look back behind that green or behind the flagpole right here, there's a freaking hill. So when you hit off that hill is going to affect the ball. Even though your ball guide's telling you it's going to go this way, when it hits that hill has something to say about it. And so if you're even slightly off, that hill's going to push you in a different trajectory. Whereas if you're just gradually just trying to bring it to the hole, there are some holes that you have to. That's one of the reasons why I switched to a Thorn. Because it adds one more shot to the short iron that other clubs don't have, which is that backspin shot. But that's just one time. There's some times when that backspin shot is the shot, but not every time. But most people that I see play it, that's every time. Evidently they don't realize that it has other tools. They don't. Now we're on the par 3. The Sniper Marlin. Yep, Sniper Marlin. Sniper Marlin. I'm sure there's a no-hit shot here, or a no-move shot. Sniper Marlin. I'm doing +10 -0.1. It's 1 and a sliver topspin. I was right on track the other day, and I put on 2 topspin, and that was way too much. It bounced over the hole. No side spin. All right. 1.1 times the wind. I must be at max. I must be. We'll see. I think I am. I think I am. Maybe. I might be a min. I have no idea. I can't remember. It's not like I haven't played this whole shitload of times. I must be. Yeah, I must. There. That's a power 2 ball, so I must be close to max. They are at max. Right at max. Let's see what they pull. Excellent. They did 4-4. They just did a straight up pull at Max Club. Perfect. Perfect on the way. In the hole. In the hole. Ooh, ran out of steam right at the very end. Max. All right. 1 and a titch. Hey, I don't like the fact that it's harder than hell to get it to not give you any side spin. $5.61 rings. There's 5, 6. Hitting it perfect. Perfect. Need a little teeny bit more topspin. And it had a sliver of right-hand side spin on there, and I couldn't get it off. It was so sensitive down there. Like once you start moving the topspin to try and get it so that it's at the 0 side spin, it's there's not a lot of, you're either in side spin or it's, I'm sure all of you are experiencing it. They could lower the sensitivity on that, or they could put a little bit of a gap there so that, you know, we have to break through that hollow spot before we get into any side spin, so that we could put it with no side spin. Because once you adjust your top spin, I saw that, I noticed that on one of the other holes I was trying to do no side spin, and it was hard to get it to no side spin. There was still a sliver on there. I don't like that. APOC Kingmaker plus 10. That's what my notes say. That's all they say. APOC Kingmaker plus 10. There we go. There we go. APOC Kingmaker. Kingmaker. Plus 10. 1.1 times the wind divided by 1.2. And I did not hit this perfect the other day. But I think I ended up making it, but I didn't hit it perfect on the drive. And the way I set it up, I was trying to be super aggressive. So if I did hit it great, and I hit it great to the right, I didn't leave myself a lot of room for maneuver. .1, 1.92 rings. I'm going to do 2. Try and hit it perfect. And I hit it great to the left this time. If I make it past this bounce, I might be okay. Woo! That works. If you've got some lower developed stuff, but you have a Power 5 inventory, this might be a good spot to bring out. If you can catch a window up there, it might be a good spot to bring out your either a toss and boost ball, or bringing out a big topper. I was able to run all my topspin and then pull back from the red line a little bit to make it work. They still got a great shot from there. They do. Yeah, I'm trying to get 0 side spin, and like there's just like once you move it, there's no spot. You're getting either left or right hand side spin. That is not, that sucks. Well, it seems like a small thing, but there are times when you don't want to have any side spin. Into hold. Just hit it perfect and it goes in. And you could set this shot up. They're on the right hand side of the flagpole, so if they hit it great to the left, it might go in. They hit it great to the right and it'll miss. Yeah, that'll miss. But that was 2 rings great. Wow, I can't believe that went in. That went in because of the terrain. It hit that hill and it rolled off towards the cup. Look at that. Look at that. In the hole. In the hole. They robbed me of a chest. I got robbed. All right, hole number 9. I haven't brought anything big so far, so I'm going to bring out. Let's bring out the Power 10 ball. Which way's the wind blowing? That wind works. Now, hold on one second. All right, I wanted to go back and see what I did in the qualifying round. So what I did, of course, I turned it off. What were you thinking? No, that's not the right one. That's not the right one. Hey, come on. Come on. Hole number 9. Hole number 9. I'm not sure there's enough room here. So I pushed the wind. Number 1, I pushed the wind back in. So I took the wind out. I had my white ring out here. And then what I need to do is come into the left 2 rings. So I'm going to start off with my right ring here. And then I'm going to come over 2 rings so that my white ring is somewhere over in this area. And then push the wind back in so that I'm landing like out here, trying to get a run towards the cup. Now obviously this is not going to work on a headwind day, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Just wondering. Hold on. No, we're going to play it. We'll play it. I think I did. I was trying to... I put the wind back in, but I think I still did max overpower even though I did the wind. I was trying to remember what I did. I should come out here. I did at one point figure out... I had worked out a max overpower hook shot on this hole, and I actually should come back out and do it again. So it's 4.3. And we're putting it all on. Putting it all on. Okay. That's where I'd set up before. I want to be 2 rings in from that. Right in that neighborhood right there. So 3.94 rings, roughly 4 rings. Let's put the forward wind back on. Isn't it perfect? And I need to come in even more, or I'd need a bigger side spin ball. And with the new changes, like a 3 side spin ball from that area, the deal is I'm going to run out of real estate trying to pull it this direction, where you're hitting, you know, like you're really taking the risk of getting caught up right here to try and come through that. You're going on See where they're at. You're going on this trajectory and you're trying to cut that angle. And a bigger side spin ball, like a 3 side spin ball, would definitely help. A 4 side spin ball might be better, because then I wouldn't have to go, like, I think I'm about as far over as I can go. I'm going to work on this hole this week. This is the hole I'm going to be risky on every time. Why not? Where am I at? That'll be helpful. There's max. There's mid. Man, I'm in the 8 per ring range. .7 divided by 8.6 of a ring. There's 0.6. Now we just need to hit it perfect. Hitting it perfect. Get in the hole. Get in the hole. So close. If I'd have added on 10%, that was like 0.1 off. 1.1 times. Yeah, even 10% would have just added on. It would have been like 0.64, and I don't know if I'd have rounded that up. Close. Close. I've got that Spitfire so close to getting it maxed, or getting it to level 7. It does pick up a little bit of backspin at level 7. Picks up some backspin, and I think it picks up some ball guide. In the hole, eagle. All right. That is not what we need to do, what we need to shoot in order to be up at the top in this tournament. But I don't want to peak in the opening round either. And I'm just out playing, having fun, so I'm not taking it too serious. It's a draw. Yeah, 28 is not going to get you very far. All right, there we have it. There we have it. I have no idea what's up at the top. Anybody that's watched my videos knows that on the weekend round, I never look, because I don't want to know, because I don't want to change my game. But just so that we have an idea of what we should be looking at on a side, I personally think that we need to be coming in with at least a -16, so that we're in the -32 range. And this isn't going to get you a win, but it's going to put you in the hunt. It'll put you up to that when you walk off the course, the reporters will come over and talk to you about what a great round you had, and at least they'll give you the time of day. But if you shoot less than that, they're going to go, oh, yeah, you're just you're just shooting. Let's see what's at the top. -33. That's the deal. And I just can't believe that we only have a -33. There is some great opportunities out there to pick up shots. Great opportunities. All right. Thanks for watching. I'm going to immediately start recording and shoot the next one. The backside. I will see you there. Have a great day. Stay safe. And I will see you on the next one. If you're not a subscriber, hit subscribe, hit the like button, ring the bell, do all that good stuff. It all helps. Leave a comment. And I will see you next time.